What's up, y'all? This is the God Bombs, and I'm here again, excited to be reviewing, once again, a new Marilyn Manson single, Raise the Red Flag. My red flag is your white one soaked in blood. Also on this channel, check out the new music video that we just dropped called Fried. It was a cover of Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign done in God Bomb style. Check it out on this channel. So excited that Manson's back yet again. Only 2 weeks after the first single dropped, As Sick as the Secrets Within, Manson is on tour right now with Five Finger Death Punch, Slaughter to Prevail, and A Funeral Portrait. Man, he's killing it. He looks great. He sounds great live. It's like the old Manson is back. And with this single, even more so. This song right away feels like it's going to be heavier than the first single. Raise the Red Flag starts out with a distorted bass, crunchy, sounds like something really raw and gritty like we would have heard on albums like Born Villain or even Antichrist Superstar. Immediately I knew this was going to be an industrial metal banger, and I wasn't disappointed. Overall, the groove of this song and the heaviness reminds me of The Better of Two Evils off the Golden Age of Grotesque album. So this song is already considerably heavier than the last single. I also noticed right away, this song is directly addressing the controversy that Manson faced during the MeToo allegations from Evan Rachel Wood and other actresses during the pandemic when they tried to shut down his career and he was briefly canceled from the music industry. Manson is coming out swinging and addressing these allegations directly. He's saying, it's time to wash the bullseye off my back. I'm not a target anymore. My red flag is your white one soaked in blood. Now, that reference to red flag immediately brings to mind how a lot of those articles talking about how Manson was abusive were saying that people ignored the obvious red flags that Manson was displaying all along because his art was provocative and because he had all this disturbing imagery, and the way he talked about women was a red flag that was ignored by the industry. So they were trying to say like Manson was showing us red flags, that he was an abuser all along. So Manson's playing on that by saying my red flag is your white one soaked in blood. To me, that implies like he's countersuing Evan Rachel Wood right now for defamation. And he's saying, I won't accept your apology. Even when you try to raise your white flag, which white flag means surrender. I don't care. My red flag is your white flag soaked in blood. So very much vengeful, very much kind of like the wicked, angry side that we probably expected to hear from that first single. And I think it's smart that Manson didn't start out with this song right away. I'm glad that he released As Sick as the Secrets Within first. I think that song had a lot of depth to it. It was more personal. It was about him getting sober and facing his own demons. It seems like these songs are going in some kind of chronological order. So it's like first he had to face the fact that he was hiding secrets, which was, you know, his own substance abuse. Once he's sober, he can get his power back. He can wash that bullseye off his back. There's a chronology here, an order of events going on here. And I like that. I like that the fact that As Sick as the Secrets Within, the video ends with him emerging out of this like membrane with this red leather jacket on. And then it's the same red leather jacket that we see in the video for Raise the Red Flag. So I feel like this album has a concept. This feels even more like a concept album than anything he's done probably since Golden Age of Grotesque or even Eat Me, Drink Me, where those albums had like clear themes. This one feels even more so, and actually like it's coming out in chronological order. So I think it's really exciting to be time to be a fan right now. The song was heavy. I immediately noticed that once again his voice sounds super clear, crisp. It sounds like a younger Manson. It doesn't have all that croaking stuff that we heard from him on albums like Pale Emperor, even going as far back as Antichrist Superstar. He had this kind of like Roz Williams influenced croaking thing going on to his voice. He's really like limiting that now. I've noticed he's singing more clearly, more cleanly than he's ever really sang, which is interesting. It shows me that I think Manson wants to go more commercial. He wants to like be relevant and kind of create something that's going to be chart-topping rock music again, which his first single, As Sick as the Secrets Within, is #1 on the rock charts. So he's clearly accomplishing his goal right now. The next thing I noticed right away with this video is he definitely stripped things down here. This is a rare video from Manson because it really showcases the band just playing the song. There's not a lot of gimmicks here. He does have a flag hanging from the ceiling that's like soaked in blood. I thought that was a cool touch. There's some scenes where he has this blue and red lighting. It's kind of reminiscent of the album cover for High End of Low. Manson has said that he likes those colors, red, black, and blue, so I don't think there's any deeper meaning there. I just think it's kind of a coincidence. Aside from those little shots, it's really just a straightforward video with them performing the song, and we haven't had anything like that since Rock is Dead off the Mechanical Animals album, which was a video where they just performed the song on stage, and there was like pyrotechnics and stuff. I felt like Rock is Dead was more larger than life feeling in the video, whereas this feels like more almost humble, kind of like stripped down as far as Marilyn Manson goes. It kind of reminds me of like the March of the Pigs video by 9 Inch Nails. It feels like he's showcasing the band for the first time in a very long time. The last time we saw a band shot in a music video was during No Reflection, where he showed Twiggy a little bit, and even then it was like Twiggy's face was kind of like hidden, so he hasn't really marketed himself as a band since like around the time of Born Villain. This is really a whole new band lineup. Tyler Bates on guitar. Tyler Bates was there for Pale Emperor and Heaven Upside Down, but he wasn't really shown or featured in those videos for those albums the way he is now. We also have Gil Sharon on drums again. Again, he was the drummer for Pale Emperor. Manson's really showing him off. He's showing off his new guitar player, Reba, from Code Orange. And this is the first time we've ever seen a female in the Marilyn Manson band, so that's super interesting. And also he's showing Piggy D from Rob Zombie on bass. So clearly it feels like Manson is marketing this as more of like a team now. It's like, this is my band, this is my team, and I'm proud of it. So it's interesting that these are the members he decided to showcase finally. I would have thought that they would have maybe been like dressed up more in that gothic style. But I think that it seems like Manson is trying to show, like, I am Marilyn Manson. I do the makeup. I do the contacts. I do all that stuff that you guys know and love. But we're not necessarily going to dress the band up. We're just going to let the band be who they are. So there's kind of like an interesting dynamic of it's me and then this is my backing band. So it's definitely a first. And I don't know how I feel about that. I do miss Twiggy and Pogo. And, of course, Gingerfish, John 5, that classic Hollywood lineup. I kind of was hoping that when Manson did come back after all the allegations and stuff, that we might get a surprise where we would see, like, Twiggy or Pogo or Ginger reappearing, you know, some of the classic members coming back, maybe even Tim Skold coming back. There was a time where it seemed like Tim Skold would be involved in this because there were some pictures of them on Instagram in the peak of the allegations period. Tim Skold kind of came back into the picture, so it seemed like Tim Skold would be the one co-producing this album. And I have to say, I would have liked to have seen Tim back in the band just because he fits the style. Tim Skold is like an authentic goth industrial musician. He comes from a similar musical background and a similar scene as Marilyn Manson originally emerged out of. So it would have been cool to see some of those original guys coming back into the fold here. Instead, we have an all-new band. I have to say, though, the band seems like they're doing a great job live from the footage I've seen. I'll be seeing them on tour soon at the show in Anaheim, so I can give a live review at that time. As far as this song goes, I think it's a pretty decent song. It sounds like it could have been maybe a song on Born Villain, maybe something on Golden Age of Grotesque. Definitely a strong song. It feels powerful. Manson feels invigorated. I love the lyrics. Losers love liars until their dying day. There's some great lines in there. He's feeling like he's finally striking back against those who tried to shut him down, which I appreciate that because I was hoping to hear something along those lines with the first single. So I'm happy about that. I don't think that the song feels like it's his most unique song or innovative song or his most memorable song. It feels like a really solid B-side off of Golden Age of Grotesque. So once again, I'm feeling like this isn't quite living up to the classic peak Marilyn Manson time period of, songs like Beautiful People or The Dope Show or Disposable Teens, where they're just so unique and they just get stuck in your head and they're instantly iconic. I'm not feeling that here, but what I am feeling like is this is a really strong, clear, focused Marilyn Manson, and I love seeing that. I like the fact that he's showing a band again, even if it's not necessarily the band that I would have really loved as a fan. I do think that everyone's bringing their all to the table here, and I think Tyler Bates is a great producer and songwriter, and him and Manson clearly have an amazing chemistry. So I'm going to give this song a solid 8.5. I think it's a solid track. It's hard-hitting. It's giving the message that Manson's going to fight back against those who tried to bully him into silence. And I really think that we as fans needed to hear that message from him. We weren't really sure what was going on. There was a few Instagram posts. There was a lawsuit, but really it was just a lot of media coverage, which was like super anti-Manson for the vast majority. And we weren't hearing a lot from Manson. And many of us grew up, looking at Manson as like a symbol of power and a symbol of somebody who like doesn't let people silence him. Like, during Columbine, they tried to make him go away. Came back with Hollywood. So I think a lot of us were hoping for that kind of like you energy with this album, and we're getting it here with this second song. And I will say that also, As Sick as the Secrets Within has grown on me over time, just like I said it might. And so I'm going to bump that one up to an 8 as well. I think this is like solid B+ material from Marilyn Manson. Definitely exciting. Still haven't heard anything that I feel like is a top 10 song from him on this batch so far, but there's more songs to come. And either way, it's just so exciting that he's back and looking better than ever and sounding really great. So let's see what's in store. As always, like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think about Raise the Red Flag. And I love you guys. Stay tuned for more Marilyn Manson updates. Bombs away.